Everybody is looking forward to the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. Everybody thinks that tomorrow on the 10th of January we get that approval, and this could potentially generate a lot of price volatility, either price going up or price crashing. There are very divergent opinions. Now maybe the decision around that ETF isn't even that important for the price. First of all, there is quite some dissent whether or not we get that approval. The majority does expect it, but there's also quite a few people that stay skeptical. What I find interesting though is that even though a lot of people are skeptical about that approval, that this will not change their opinion whether or not it makes sense to hold Bitcoin. Check this out. Imagine the Bitcoin ETF gets clearly denied this January. Will 2024 still be bullish for crypto? The vast majority agrees with this. The vast majority is bullish, completely independent of the SEC decision tomorrow. Now CNBC turned on their marketing machine. One clip went quite viral, and I want to share this with you in case you haven't watched it yet.
Crypto investors waiting with bated breath for approval of a Bitcoin ETF. Will it happen? And perhaps will it happen as soon as this week? Kate Rooney, that's the question.
Hey, David. Yeah, that is the question. A Bitcoin ETF, it's now widely expected to get the green light this week. Two sources close to the process now telling me it's looking like Wednesday, which is also the deadline for Cathie Wood's ARK and 21 shares bid. Then I'm told potential trading would happen Thursday or Friday, but it has been a moving target here on dates. The SEC is expected to approve a handful of applications at once. Those sponsors filing even more paperwork this morning, where we are starting to get a sense of this price war emerging. There are 13 applications out there with different fees. Some are starting at zero and then rising once the fund hits a certain size. So BlackRock, for example, plans to start at 0.2% and then go to 0.3%. Fidelity at 0.39%. Grayscale looking like the highest here, 1.5%. This one's worth watching, guys. It's looking to convert an already publicly traded Bitcoin trust, GBTC, into an ETF, so known as an uplist. With $27 billion roughly under management, GBTC would become one of the largest commodity-based ETFs if it is approved. The fund used to trade at a steep premium to Bitcoin, but then you've seen it switch, and it's been trading at a pretty steep discount in the past year or so, as much as 45% last year. That has narrowed to about 5%. So if that fund converts into an ETF, the discount essentially disappears overnight, starts trading at the price of Bitcoin. Some are taking that as an arbitrage trade, an opportunity there. Crypto prices have shot up in anticipation of this approval. Some are cautious, though, including Cathie Wood, who's among those taking profits, at least when it comes to Coinbase, ahead of any news here this week. Guys, back to you.
It's actually quite interesting how Cathie Wood positioned herself. She didn't just sell the Coinbase stock, she also sold her GBTC. And if she is expecting the approval tomorrow, why would you sell now at this 5% discount roughly? I want to clean up a misconception relating to this chart, which implies that once an ETF gets approved, the price has to go up, as we have seen with the approval of the gold ETF. The SPDR ETF started trading in the middle of November of 2004. That's over here, the vertical line. And yes, the gold price did go up since then. 350% of gains to today, 320% in the following 7 years. Now here's a problem though. I think the impact of that ETF approval is overestimated here, because in general, liquidity expanded during this time. Interest rates went down, and so whatever thing you bought tended to go up in US dollar valuation. Houses went up, gold went up, stocks went up as well. So we need to a certain degree, adjust this. One way to adjust this is by looking at gold relative to M2, to the money supply. And yes, we still see a rally, but it was only quote unquote 190%. So is the ETF long-term bullish for Bitcoin? Yes, of course it is. But the price appreciation will happen over many, many years, and it won't necessarily accelerate prior growth because we simply are already so large in Bitcoin. Over the years, we see diminishing returns in Bitcoin, right? In the early days, Bitcoin appreciated much faster than recently. A bit of that slowdown can be stopped with that ETF, but prices aren't going to suddenly balloon into infinity. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. There's also a free Telegram. Link is down below.